Welcome back. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Good morning. Welcome back. Happy what is it? Happy Wednesday. All right. Morning, morning, morning. Best day of the year for Larry. Nice, Larry. Congrats, man. Well done. J-Rocks, I got you. Give me back my son. Morning, guys. Welcome back. So a little bit of upside this morning. Nice downside yesterday into that 20 SMA stronghold. A little bit of upside, more a little gap up this morning. So gonna be interesting. Does that 20 SMA? Is that our new long? Do we have some levels above to be watching? So yeah, gonna be definitely an interesting day. Being that we got to see. It's sort of that second day after that large downside. How does this develop? Do we see weakness again? Do we see this market recover the whole move? We have that SPX gap fill to be watching. So a lot of things sort of on the watch list here. What else today? Not much on the economic today, but definitely some key levels above. So we got to be watching. Morning, guys. $5,000 drawdown. Hey, man, it's all percentage points. Trading's about percentage points. $5,000 drawdown on my account is very similar to, I don't know, maybe $500 drawdown on some others. So got to think about it in percentage points. Morning, guys. I have a package out for delivery, but I don't know what it is. I got a FedEx alert. Wednesday, out for delivery. I have no idea what it is. All right. Wait a few minutes for some of you guys to come in. Yeah, QQQ was pretty killer yesterday. NASDAQ was pretty killer yesterday. Some really nice levels, some really nice reactions. So very happy about yesterday. Let's see what today gives us. Rad Dad for the 5 gifted. Thank you, Rad Dad. Appreciate that. Congrats to you guys getting gifted memberships. No, I don't think it's spam. I know I've seen spam FedEx alerts. This one's real. I'm signed up for their FedEx alerts. What's Demo Pro? Demo Pro makes me be able to draw all over my charts. That's Demo Pro. All right, let's do it. Welcome back, guys. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Here we go. So let's start with the economic calendar, as we always do. How'd I find the break and retest strategy? Just 10 years of looking at the charts every day, man. 10 years of looking at red and green bars on my screen, and finally figuring out a thing that happens consistently. Can you buy a t-shirt? Yeah, you can, if you'd like. So here we go. Today, economic calendar. Really not much today, right? We have crude oil inventories. FOMC member Barr speaks at 4 o'clock. So nothing really to really talk about on the economic side, right? 10:30 crude oil inventories, 4 o'clock member FOMC member Barr speaks, right? So nothing really to worry about there. Tomorrow is where we get a little bit heavier, right? We got retail sales, we got unemployment claims. That's probably going to be your next big event. And then Friday, we have PPI. Sort of strange. I've never seen this really happen. I don't know why. Maybe they're just doing this to split up the economic data. I've never really seen CPI and then PPI not follow the next day, right? Usually you got CPI and then PPI next day. So for some reason, there's a day in between. Actually, there's 2 days in between, which is a little bit strange, right? You have Wednesday and Thursday in between CPI and PPI. So we'll see, right? We'll see. Today, nothing much. Tomorrow, it's core retail sales, retail sales, unemployment, and then Friday, PPI. All right? That's that. Let's go to the earnings. Let's go to the earnings. Here we go. Today, on the earnings side, yesterday we had, what did we have yesterday? Airbnb, Upstart, Robinhood. How'd those do? I didn't even look at them. We had, let me zoom in on this. Look at this. Look at this. We got to know it all in the chat already. We got to know it all in the chat. Michael Warren, he knows it all, man. Hey, Margin, remember when I said crypto last week? Who was right? Hey, Vince, remember when I said Coinbase last week and you doubted me? Who was right? Oh, man. Gotta love the know-it-alls, man. Got to. So, why you buy Coinbase and not me? Why you buy crypto and not me? Airbnb. Yesterday, Upstart, Robinhood, Lyft, right? Some nice earnings there. Today, really nothing on the pre-market. Tonight, you got Twilio, you got Cisco, Oxy, Fastly. That used to be one that people used to watch. Tomorrow, DraftKings, Coinbase, Roku. I'm up 100K, but not me. So some interesting watches there. I'm not really interested in, the earnings side, but let's take a look. What did Airbnb, Upstart, what did some of these do? Airbnb, really nothing much. Upstart, a little bit of downside. What else was there? Oh. Hold on. Where the hell did that go? Oh, here it is. Robinhood. Let's take that out. Hood. Oh, nice little hood upside. Lyft. Oh, you guys saw about that. All right, let's get Michael out of here. That's just annoying. Michael, consider being humble, my friend. I could sit here and tell everyone how right I was about QQQ, how right I was about pretty much a lot of shit, right? Almost on a daily basis. But that's not why I'm here, right? I'm not here to. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that, man? I told you. Get out of here, Michael. See ya. Yeah, let's move forward. Man, some people on the internet, man. Let's move forward. All right. So let's start with the futures. NASDAQ. So yesterday, right, we got that big downside on CPI, right? We got that big downside on CPI. We moved into that 20 SMA, and we held very strong, right? We held early morning, which we had that early morning bounce, right? Hold on. Chef. 17 months for Chef, man. Thank you for the support, Chef, as always. Like and sub. Let's hit 100K. Yes, sir. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, make sure to hit the like button on your way out, Michael. So, big downside on CPI, right? Big downside on CPI. We had that 20 SMA hold, which we talked about, and we had that little morning upside, right? Morning upside came into our double bottom lows, and that's where we got that rejection, which we talked about, and we had that nice downside trade. Now, you can see end of day, right? End of day, we came back down to that 20, right? And that 20 SMA, like we talk about a lot, right? It's a very important level on the market. It's an important level on everything, right? We've seen individual stocks hold that level. We've seen the market hold that level. So this daily 20 is going to be major, something to be watching in the future, right? So Daily 20, big time watch. You can see the big reaction off of it and the hold to the upside today. Now, today, right, it is all about whether this NASDAQ and S&P can fight through some of these previous levels, right? That's going to be the major watch. Can the NASDAQ fight through these lows, right? Can the NASDAQ get above this yesterday's high, which it is right now? Can the NASDAQ fight through these highs here, fight through this morning high on CPI yesterday, right? How does the market react at these key levels? Do we fight through them? Do we hold back above them for new upside, right? Do we do a sort of a break and retest to the upside? Or is this another sort of retrace and we start to see some potential rejections at these levels, right? This is going to be a little bit of a difficult day, right? This is going to be a little bit of a difficult day because we are going to be navigating our way back through some of these levels. Now, I will say, right, in the larger term analysis, it might just be a beautiful long opportunity off that 20 SMA, right? This might just set up that long opportunity for new highs off that 20 SMA. That might be the right way to read this. It's going to be a little bit difficult to just sort of blindly hold off that idea. It's very possible, but you do need to be cautious of some of these short-term levels that could have some reactions for today, right? Like, for example, you have these lows from last week. You saw that rejection around that area yesterday. You're sitting right at that level right now, right? So today, early morning, we have to see, can we see a solid hold over, right, these lows? If we see a hold over these lows, then we move to the next level, which I believe is right here, and that's up at 17,870, right? So then once we get up to 17,870, right, do we see that rejection come in, or are we able to hold above that level now intraday? So we're going to be navigating through some key levels here on the NASDAQ ES, and we just need to be aware of the things that we're going to be moving up into, right? That's all. We have to make sure we're aware at all times today as we navigate through these levels. So for now, I would say you watch, number one, I would watch yesterday's highs, right? This yesterday high intraday around that 790, that's something I would watch, right? I'm actually going to go ahead and put a little bit of a green level there. So basically, I'm going to go in on the 5-minute here. This is yesterday's highs, right? The high of yesterday, this high of this candle was 17,790. So what I'm going to do is, okay, if we stay above yesterday's highs, right, then I probably should look for that upside continuation if we stay above yesterday's highs. If we fall back below yesterday's highs, then maybe a little bit of downside could come in. So yesterday's highs should be definitely on watch, right? That's going to be a big one. What happens at yesterday's highs? Do we hold above it? Do we reject it? Do we get back below it? I'm thinking that you should just have, it could just be this, right? It could just be this, right? We could just put, I think, this line here at yesterday's highs, which is the exact lows here, and the highs from yesterday. So I would say as long as you're over, let me go ahead and zoom in here. As long as you're over this little 17,790, which is right there, I would say this market tries to maintain higher, right? You can see right here. I would say as long as you're over this 17,790, the market tries to maintain higher, above yesterday's highs and above those previous lows, right? That's going to probably be my first watch. As long as we're above this, right, markets can maintain higher. If we fall back below this, that's where some drama can come in, and maybe we come back down to test this little pre-market support around that 17,750. If you maintain higher, I think you will retest right here, right? You will retest this 17,870. That would be my target, right? If you maintain above yesterday's highs and you maintain above this pre-market high, I think you would try to maintain here and try to push towards that 17,870 level. That would be my target on the day. That would be the high of that CPI print right there. right? That's the high of that CPI print right there at 17,870. 17,870, the high of that CPI print. That would be my upside target if we can maintain over yesterday's highs. So that's really going to be sort of that deciding factor for me today, right? Let's make sure we know exactly where the previous day intraday high is, right? We have to know where that is, and we have to watch the reactions here. As of right now in the pre-market, we can see it's trying to maintain above it. So that is very key. As of right now in the pre-market, you can see we are trying to maintain over previous day highs. That is going to be your watch. If you start to see this demand step up, consider the longs up until that 870, okay? If you get under, right, then drama gets a little bit of drama. Maybe move back down to that 760. If you break this 760, right, then you're coming back down, most likely to fill that pre-market gap up. And maybe this is just a little dead cat bounce this morning, right? So we're going to have to see, right? We're going to have to sort of let this work because it's an unknown morning. We had, a little bit of, we had a lot of volatility yesterday, down, up, down, back up, right? It's a lot of chop. It's a lot of volatility. And we're going to have to let this work out. But I would not be surprised, right? To be honest, there would be no surprise to me if you have, and you have to make sure you got both sides in mind. I still would not be surprised if this is some type of a retracement for another, right, lower high being built. It's very possible. Do not think that that is not possible here, right? Maybe up until like a 50% retracement. We've really only retraced from the highs to the lows. We've retraced about 40% of this move. So you still need to be aware of that possibility that this is a beginning of a lower high sort of being built. It's very possible. We need to be aware of that. We do not want to be sort of caught with our pants down, thinking that we're just going to continue and go to new highs here. We need to be very objective. We need to be aware of every possibility that could come here. So you are back into some of these key levels. You have this previous high here. You have the lows from here, right? You have the highs from yesterday. And if we look at the hourly chart right now, right, I can't say that these last two hourly candles look very bullish at this previous low, right? So could I see a wick rejection here, right? Could I see a bounce back into these lows here and a wick rejection for new lows, right? It's possibly there. So let's be aware of it. Let's make sure we are not the ones that are just sort of only thinking one direction. So I think a lot of focus on yesterday's highs and these double bottom lows right around 17,790. Okay, a lot of focus on that. Okay, Dea, holy hell, $50 donation, cannoli and coffee all week for you. Absolutely. Everything I've learned about trading is nothing compared to what I've learned from your live streams and Discord group. First green month ever, forever grateful. Wow. Dea, thank you, man. Or maybe woman? Thank you, my friend. I'll say my friend. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that very much, and hopefully the $50 donation is coming from a place of profits in the market from things you've learned, right? That's what I hope. Guys, if you, I appreciate your donations. Trust me, I appreciate it, and it's very, very heartwarming. But make sure, I don't want to take your money if you're starting out trading, if you're tight on the bankroll, keep it for your trading. But I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Dea. All right, so that's sort of my NASDAQ read right now. All eyes on yesterday's highs. That's really it, right? That's going to be on my watch every single moment of the day. What's happening at previous day highs? That's going to be it. Let's go to QQQ. So QQQ previous day highs, I'm going to have it around this 431, right? So let me go ahead and zoom out to the hourly chart. And congratulations on your first green month ever. That's sick. I'm going to go out to the hourly chart. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to the 30-minute. And I'm going to zoom in here. So I think right now, 431, right? 431, I think, is the key level, at least as of right now. You have 431 lows here, 431 lows here, and you have that sort of 431 level from yesterday that sort of rejected, right? You see right here, 431 on the QQQ. I believe that is going to be our key watch right now, 431. If we hold above yesterday's highs, if we hold above 431, that I believe will sort of trigger that further upside move and probably, right, probably up to that CPI print high, right, right here, 433. That is likely your target for the upside. If, and that's an if, you hold over previous day highs, 431. If you hold over this level, if you start to see this demand step up, right, you probably will trade up to that 431, okay? If you fail to hold this yesterday high at 431, you likely trade back to 430. If you break under 430, you could see this drop, right? It's very possible. You could see this pre-market sort of get filled. You could get weak again like we did yesterday under this 430 level. It's very possible. So I think a lot of watch on that previous day high, 431. That's going to be the big one for me. And also, guys, let me just make this very clear. I do not believe it is going to be easy. And in no sense, in no way, do I think it's going to be easy for the QQQ to just get right back over these highs, right? This 433 high. I do not think it's going to be easy for the market just to get right back over this, right? So you can see this was a previous high. We had a little bit of an extension, and we came right back under it, right? Extension for one day, Friday push, Monday pullback, Tuesday pullback. So we really only lived above 433 for like 2 days, right? We only lived above that level for like 2 days. So if we come back up into this 433, I would be aware of this level, right? This I don't think this is going to be easy for us to get right back above. If I go to the NASDAQ, it is right here, right? It's that 17,870 level. You can see we had very clear rejections here, both Wednesday and Thursday of last week. We did live above it for Friday, right, on that nice squeeze, right? But we got right back under it very quickly, right back under. So not a lot of willingness to hold up here above this 17,870 area. So if we do retrace to that level, right, that is probably one of my ultimate short side watches if we do retrace to that 17,870. All right? So just be aware of that. Steve, thank you, man. $20 donation. You guys are feeling generous today, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys had some, got some value from yesterday's live stream. I mean, yesterday's live stream, I don't think we could have read the market much better than yesterday's live stream, to be honest. That was probably the best read you saw anywhere on the market yesterday. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. All right, now this is, so I don't like to be bearish or bullish. I try my best because I know it does nothing but bad things for my trading, right? I know this. So me being bearish or bullish on this live stream does nothing but affects my trading because I carry that mentality into the day and I usually am wrong, right? So I will say this right here is my bearish type of analysis because I am a little concerned about this 5,000 level on the ES futures, guys. I would be very cautious here, okay? You have very clear double bottom lows at 5,000 on the ES. This is also a psychological number on the ES at 5,000. And the way that you've pushed into this level on pre-market gap up, right? The way you've pushed into this level in a pre-market gap up is slightly concerning, okay? It's slightly concerning, and I am definitely not going to be very bullish, or I'm not going to be taking aggressive long positions if the ES is below this double bottom low, right? I will not be taking long positions with aggression, with size, if we are sitting right under this 5,000 level, okay? That's going to be my game plan today. So I'm not going to look to short it, so to say. Right? I'm not going to be like, I'm all in short here. But I'm going to be a cautious bull, right? I'm going to be a cautious long trader today if we're under 5,000. I don't really like trading longs into this, right? You guys can see that right there, right? We see that low, and we are coming back into that low this morning right here. This could be, right? This could be that break and retest rejection. It's very possible. So be aware of that. Be cautious of it. Do not trade longs into 5,000 on the ES, right? I think that's a very good way to walk into the day. No longs under 5,000 on ES, right? No longs under this 5,003 level on ES. If we get above it and I start to see a hold above here, yes, right? Let's go long, right? Let's go long for that gap fill up to that 5,020, right? Let's go long for that gap fill above 5,000 into that 5,020. But I would not front run that idea. Okay, just knowing technical analysis, that is a very major double bottom low, and we can see that it's starting to get a little bit weak there. If this is a little bit of a, bear trap, a little break and retest, a bull trap into this level, we start to get some rejections here. This could start to fall again. Okay, so be aware of that, please. 5,003, double bottom lows, very clear. However, here's your bullish thing, right? Here's your bullish sort of thing you need to watch out for. Here's what you need to be careful of if you're short, right? There's things to be watching on both sides. This is what we need to be looking at as traders to get a full picture, okay? You also, right, need to be careful of shorting into yesterday's highs, right? So you can very clearly see your sort of your lower and upper bands this morning, right? You have your 5,000 level rejecting, but you still have your previous day highs holding as support. So right here is your little area to be sort of hands off, right? A little bit hands off in here. Not too aggressive, a little bit of patience, right? Let the market sort of work out in this little range. But I would say, right, if you see a break back under yesterday's highs, I would say you move back down to this 49.70, right? If you get back above 5,000, I would say you move into 5,020. So that's how I would set up my day. Over 5,003, I'm long into 5,020. Under yesterday's highs, I'm short into 49.70. That's pretty much it, right? And inside here, I am patient and I am cautious, okay? That's how you do it, right? That's how you set up your day. That's how you set up your day to avoid being stuck in some kind of a chop here. You have previous day highs and that pre-market demand. You have that previous double bottom low and that 5,000 supply. You have a very clear about 10-point range on the ES. Don't get screwed up here. Don't go long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. I'm long, I'm short, I'm long, I'm short. SPX calls, I'm down 50% right away. Bam, 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 right? You don't need to do that, okay? You don't need to do that. All you got to do is wait for one of these sides to break and hold, and you can probably get a nice continuation trade, okay? SPY, same thing, right? Same exact thing. It's a dollar range. It's a $1 range on the SPY. It's 497. It's 496, okay? And you just wait, right? You just wait. That's all you do. So we got the 1 hour chart, and you can see right here, right? Those aren't very pretty hourly candles at the moment. You have this previous low around this 497.20, right? Right in there. You have this very clear previous double bottom low that you're seeing a little bit of, little hourly rejection there, right? A little hourly candle wick that's setting up right at that double bottom low. Could this reject and cause downside? Absolutely. Now, before you get aggressive on that idea, what do you wait for? Right? Before you get aggressive on that idea, you wait for the drop under previous day highs. That's what you wait for. If you fall under previous day highs, you start to get that slide, right? So 497.20, rejection spot to be careful of. Under this previous day high, downside towards 494, very possible. If you get above this 497, you're moving up into this 498, okay? Servant Thought, 5 gifted. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Great. I know how to say that word. I just can't think about it. What is it? Saya? Saya, man? No, that's not how you say it, right? I'm going to call you the Great. The Great. Made mine yesterday so I can buy me a wife for Valentine's Day. Thanks, Desi, and thanks for the Discord. I'm going to buy me a wife too, man. I'm going to buy me a wife. All right. That's that. Let's continue. 8:30, 2,200 people, 800 likes. We're almost there. Press that like button. Press that like button. All right, let's continue. Super Saiyan. All right, here we go. Tesla. So, what a rejection on Tesla at 187 yesterday. Man, just all day downside. Man, Tesla, it's sad, right? It's sad because Tesla used to be just a sexy trade, right? Tesla just used to be a clean action, market continuation, aggressive downside, aggressive upside, awesome opportunities. And now Tesla is just an absolute shit show. It really is, right? The intraday action on Tesla is garbage. It's really just not good. The candles have no volume. The candles don't really feel right. They're just sort of choppy and small, and it's just not what it used to be. And it's sad because Tesla, I used to make a lot of money on it, but as of lately, like in this channel, I have not even wanted to touch it. I have not seen anything clear. It's been very difficult to trade. If you guys are crushing it in here, congratulations, because it's just not, it doesn't feel like the same Tesla. This was a nice opportunity up here at the 20, right? This was beautiful as a short side play, right? That was sexy. That was really good. But now, after this move down, it's sort of just back to its normal sort of choppy nothingness. So, yeah, I mean, you could look for it today. I would say you could look for that 187.50 rejection. I think it's very possible, right? Right here, right here, right here, right? You could definitely see, sort of that pop and rejection again, right? Sort of look at that today. That's very possible. Look for that quick pop. See if this thing starts to fade again at that previous rejection point. That's a possibility. But, the problem I have with these ideas on Tesla is I know that Tesla has the ability to come up, right? Give me a little bit of a fake signal and then do this, right? That's the problem I have with trading Tesla these days. I know that there's always that possibility on Tesla as of late to sort of give me that sort of fake signal of supply and then just sort of squeeze straight up, right? Or it could give me this little fake idea of a break and retest hold and then just bam, right? Some random shit that goes on. So this is why I try to stay away from it a little bit, right? It's just been a little bit difficult, and that's just me sharing with you my personal thoughts. So, you do it as you please. If you're finding success with Tesla, then keep going, man. Don't listen to me, but that's just my opinion. So I would watch that 187.50. I think that's probably where you want to be, sort of monitoring your action. Nvidia. So Nvidia yesterday, really nice hold of that 710 demand sort of early morning. Big squeeze back to the upside, and we are right back sort of where we started. We're right back over that 722. I think that's going to be a key level today. And you guys know, right? PPI is out. Is PPI today? It's not. No, it's not today. It's not today. PPI is on Friday, unless the economic calendar is incorrect. But I don't see anything on the news saying PPI. All right. Nvidia. So you guys know, right? You know what I like to look for. When you get a gap up on Nvidia, what are we looking for, right? What are we looking for on Nvidia? We're looking for that morning downside. Quick morning downside. Look for that sort of death candle on Nvidia, straight back down to maybe fill this gap. The high of this candle is 724.80, so let's just call it 725. I'm looking for that morning death candle, sort of that aggressive downside candle, that washout candle, down to fill this gap right here, right there, right? Can we get that quick downside candle and then sort of hold this area and we move that thing back up, right? That's been pretty much the whole story on Nvidia as of late. If we don't get that downside candle, and if, it's either 724 or it's 722, I would watch either one of them, right? 724, 722. That would be the two downside demands that I would watch. Now, if you don't get that downside candle today, it is very easy to see, to get an idea of what to look for. If we don't get that downside candle, you are very clearly just looking for a break and hold over 735 right here. You are looking for a break and hold above that previous day high. You're looking to see if previous day highs turn into new lows, and if that's the case, then you trade that long with the stop under 735. Very easy, right? That would be my setup right there, if you can get it. Now, pre-market gap ups typically give some kind of downside, so I'm going to look for this, either 725, 722, and then see if we can catch some longs off this level. Now, if the market weakens today, right, and some of that ES rejection comes in, and we do see a downside move, be careful, right? If Nvidia breaks under 722, it could slip again, okay? So 722, I think, is a must hold. I think it's a must hold, okay? SMCI, yeah, man, what a nutso move, right? I don't know enough about, I mean, this is definitely being driven by institutional buying, right? There's no way retail traders are keeping this thing higher, right? It's just not possible, at least in my opinion. That's just not what I believe. But this is a crazy move and maybe, right, maybe warranted. I just don't know about fundamentals of the company to warrant whether this is a proper stock price. But on the technical standpoint, there is a setup today, and it's just a break and hold over 800, right? The setup today is a pullback to 800 and a long of 800, right? That's it. That's it. So if you want to look for SMCI today, you're looking for a pullback to 800. You're looking for the previous highs to hold above, right? You're looking for this to maintain 800, and then you're looking along this thing with the stop under 800. That's it. That's the setup, right? So wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for that drop. It will come in at some point. Look for that 800 to be solid. If it is, look for that long. If we break back under 800, right, a little bit cautious. Yeah, Michael knows. Michael definitely knows. I wish Michael was here so he could tell us exactly what's going to happen, man. Fuck. One thing I want to say, guys, just please, as someone who's giving you some caution in your trading, okay, please understand the size of these moves, okay? You need to make sure you're paying attention to the scale of this stock. You need to be making sure you're paying attention to the scale of this stock. This is not a small move, right, on a daily basis, right? If you just trade back to yesterday's lows, which is very possible for a stock to trade back to yesterday's lows, that is almost a $70 downside move, okay? And on option contracts, a $70 downside move is monstrous. So just be aware of that. If you guys are out here trading SMCI, make sure you understand the magnitude of this scale. That is some really large intraday moves. Okay, like this move yesterday was $60 a share. $60 a share. That is really big. That there's always going to be a spread, right? When a stock moves this much, guys, there's always going to be that large of a spread. This used to be like Amazon back in the day, Shopify back in the day, right? Amazon used to have major moves like this, large scale, right? Moves a lot per day, and the spreads were like $3-4 wide, right? Always going to happen. ARM, yeah, sort of a dead day for ARM yesterday, right? But where is it back over today, right? Where is it back over today? It is right back over that 124. It is right back over that 124. So what I would look for today is, does 124 hold again, right? Right here. 124, it held that day it squeezed. It dropped back below, but look at this gap up above. You're looking for a pullback to 124, and you're looking for a hold. 124 is the level to watch on ARM. All right, let's continue. Let's go to MRVL. This is that swing trade that I'm still sort of sitting in. It's fine, right? MRVL is not a big mover, right? The daily chart is really what I'm watching. Daily chart's still valid. I'm just looking to see if it holds above this 65.50, really. It's a break and retest on the daily, and it's holding really well. It's still above it, but I'm not expecting really much in the short term. I'm really not expecting much in the short term. So I'm just going to let it sit. Just an update for you guys there. hold on. Trying to think about what had the most interesting moves yesterday. Yeah, let's go AMD. Am I trading Bitcoin? No, I'm not, man. I'm not going to stay up my entire day to trade Bitcoin all night. Okay, it's not necessary. So AMD, actually a very solid hold and a reclaim above the 20 SMA yesterday, which is actually crazy. Really strong reclaim here on AMD. That 165 level held very strong. We have that low, right? This 165 low, very strong wick off that 165 on AMD yesterday. Very nice reclaim. My only concern here is this downtrend, and every pop is getting sold into on AMD, right? That is my only concern, guys. Every pop has, you can actually just see it by looking at this chart. Look at the way AMD has been trading. It's very bizarre, right? Big pop, sort of stair-step higher. I'm sorry, big drop, elevator drop, sort of stair-step higher, elevator drop. Stair-step higher, right? Elevator drop. Maybe stair-step higher again, right? And maybe another elevator drop, right? So you can see, look at how this thing is trading. It's like this little grind higher, and then it hits that trend line and just gets absolutely sold into. So to avoid being stuck in any of this nonsense, I would personally just wait till 181 breaks. To avoid being stuck in the nonsense that's going on here, I would just wait till 181 breaks, to be quite honest, right? If I can just get this thing over 181 and I can see this start to hold, right, that's probably the right trade, just above 181. So 181, that's your big upside supply. You got that downtrend that sort of continues to reject, right? So be aware of that. And then you have this sort of lower band demand right down to that 195 or 165. So right now, I don't really like a trade on AMD. It's sort of just in the middle of nowhere. You do have the wedge. Yep, you have the wedge. I'm aware of that. But how do you trade this wedge, man? You can guess, right? You can guess. This is what I don't really like about wedges. You know, a wedge can show you that there's going to be a move coming, right? A wedge can sort of give you insight that, hey, you know, eventually we're going to get a big move outside of this wedge, and there's going to be a nice opportunity. But a wedge is not an indication of the direction, right? It's just sort of a sign of consolidation, and I think it's going to be more up to the market at this time, whether you get another big push on the market and AMD squeezes to the upside, or you get a drop in the market and AMD breaks to the downside of this wedge. So for now, I would be a non-trader inside this wedge. I would not trade inside of it, and I would wait for something to be a little bit more clear. That's my personal advice there on AMD. Google. I don't really have much for you on Google. To be honest, I don't really like anything on Google here. You sort of filled that upside gap, that downside gap. You found rejections at 151. You had that support come in again at 145, which is right around here, right? You have that 145 support stepping in, and now you're just sort of in no man's land, right? You're in the twilight zone in my eyes, right? You're between major supply. You have this little short-term demand, and now you're just twilight zoning it here in between this area. So I don't like anything here on Google. I don't really like any of these levels. I would only look to short at 151. I would look to long at 145. If you break under 145, I'd look to short back down towards the 140s. If you get over 151, I'd look for longs maybe up into that 153. But as of right now, right, this doesn't seem like a great area to be trading Amazon. It just does not seem, right? You can see that high, you can see that low, and you're sort of just right in the middle of it. So nothing really for me on Google there. Nothing, to be honest, right? I'm not gonna try to make something up. I'm not gonna try to make up a play. All right, that's the worst thing you could do. I would not try to make up plays because you have to find something. I just don't see anything there. Meta is another one that I just don't really see anything on. Meta is right in between 470 supply. I meant Google if I said Amazon, sorry. 470 supply and 460 demand. All right, you can see it right here. Pretty much twilight zone. Twilight zone. So what do you look for? You look for a pop, maybe a rejection play up here. You look for a drop, maybe a demand hold at 460, right? You could look for this trade. You could look for this trade. up at these levels, right? You could look for trades in there. But you got to wait, right? Because if you start trading long here, you could get that drop. If you start trading short here, you could get that pop. There's really no way to tell when you're in the middle of a channel. So I would wait for something into 470, something into 460, and then react. If you get over 470, you could get upside continuation over this high. If you get under 460 with strength, you could probably see that 450. So right now, again, Google or Meta, really nothing. Apple, I just wanted to point out, you do have that 100 SMA hold, right? You can see right here, that 100 SMA hold. You held it again yesterday. You have that 200 SMA, which held as well. This is another stock that just has not been a great trade, but I would say keep an eye on Apple at the 100, right? This is going to be very important for the overall market. Yesterday, Apple held the 100 SMA. You could look to see if it holds again and potentially creates a long here off this 185. I think that is possible, right? If you say, okay, Apple holding the 100, holding 185, I like the potential of a long here with the stop under 185, maybe for a retracement back up, right? That's a possible play. So if you see market strength, if you see Apple holding that 100 and you see that 185 reacting strong, right, there could be a little bottom, channel low demand hold there to be watching, okay? Everything Bagel, I saw your message, man. You just have to sign into the WAP. You got to go into my orders, right? And you just got to claim access right in it, right? You just go to WAP.com, sign in, go to your orders, claim the access to the community. If you can't figure it out, man, I'm more than happy to just refund your whatever you paid, because I can't. Unfortunately, it's a lot, for me to be walking through everyone how to join it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Go to WAP, go to your orders, claim access to Discord, sign into your Discord account. It should all be there. It's very automated. All right. So what else? Oh, let's go to Microsoft. Let's go to Microsoft Snow, and then Netflix, and then let's go to some crypto names, and then let's call it a day. So real quick, Microsoft, just a real quick one, guys. All I'm going to say is watch this, right? Right here, right? 412. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Just watch 412 on Microsoft. That's going to be a tough level to get above. 412. Okay? 412 Microsoft. Careful there. Snow. Beautiful. And I know some of you guys caught this because you guys in the chat were screaming this thing out yesterday. 220 Snow. Look at that hold. Right? Beautiful. Break, retest, nice hold. So for now, the trade's sort of over unless you can get a pullback to 212. But for me, this trade is over, right? This is how I think about trading. This trade is over. I should have been long here. The trade is over. That's how you have to think, in my opinion, unless you feel like you got to chase things, which is just a really bad habit. This trade is gone. I should have been long, right? This is how you need to think about it. I should have been long at 220. I should have been long at the retest hold. If I am not long, I am not going to wake up today and start chasing it, okay? 220 was the hold. That was a previous high. That was a perfect demand, right? You can even see it on the 15-minute, or let's go to the 5-minute, right? You can see how strong that was. It really held that early morning yesterday. You should have been long down here. The trade is now over. The trade is over until you either get another pullback to 220 for another long opportunity, or you get above the highs and you hold above the highs, right? That's the only two entries now. There's only two entries here on Snow, guys. It's either here or here, and that's it, right? And we need to think this way in our trading. You need to be selective about the entries that you take. You need to be selective about where you're entering trades. There is only two spots to enter Snow. It is here, and it is above here. 1 and 2. There's no, maybe I'll long it right at 230.1. It looks good right now. Let's long it right at 232. 234 is looking all right. All right, let's just buy some calls, right? No, please no, right? This is how we get stuck in just stupid trades. So, key levels or nothing. That's going to be a new term. Trust the levels? We're bringing out a new term. Key levels or nothing. Let's go quick to Netflix. Just keep an eye on 550 on Netflix, guys. Just a big level here. It's holding. It's still holding. So big time level at 550 Netflix, right? Right there. And you can see what's something you notice here, right? What's something you notice here? You are starting to move. Your 20 SMA is starting to move into price action, right? This is important. We've talked about this. 20 SMA is starting to catch up to the price action. So once that 20 SMA starts to get close, right, this could be when Netflix pushes. So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. 550 and that 20 starting to get sort of close. Let's quickly go to Coinbase. Obviously, crypto, big push this morning, right? Coinbase, nice hold. It looks like it's like that 137 level. Nice hold there at that 137. Very solid demand stepping up. I would say if you are long Coinbase, if this crypto sort of move continues, just watch out for these highs right here. Right? That's my only concern for you. Right here. Right? You can see that very clearly. 160, 161. 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections right there. That's very key. If you are long Coinbase, just watch out for that 161. But this little 137 level, look how clean that is. Look how clean that is, right? Look at how, that's a nice hold, man. That's a nice hold. So, really nice structured long. If you were in long, you wanted to be long Coinbase here, right? Around that 137. That's your retest long right there. Beautiful. Previous highs. Oops. Previous highs. Double bottom lows. Perfect long opportunity. You do have earnings tomorrow. So, vaya con Dios. That's what I like to say. Best of luck, my friends, if you're trading through earnings. But, yeah. I'll go quickly to IWM. You're back under 200. Obviously, guys, that's the level to watch. 200, okay? ES, what's it doing? Let's get a quick update on ESNQ, and let's get out of here. So, ES. Careful, right? Careful. Okay, a little bit cautious here. 5,000, just proceed with caution. Be careful longing this thing into 5,000, guys. That's a big-ass level up there. It's a big-ass level. NQ. Yeah, you're back under this yesterday high, too, so a little bit of caution there. Oh, baby. ARM. Little squeezer. Little squeezer. I would say 132.50, right? If you can hold above this low, 132.50, that's your next watch. All right, guys, that's all I got. If you guys could, press that like button for me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys' support, as always, man. Very much, being able to come here every day, have a little audience, have some fun, kick some people out of the chat. It's always a good time. If you guys know it all, don't come. If you know exactly what's going to happen today, go type it somewhere else. I don't want to hear it. We trade our levels. We react to the intraday volatility. We react to the intraday action. We come into the day without any type of bias. We watch levels. We trade off of them. We take quality trades, risk-reward trades, and we move on. Okay? We don't try to predict what's going to happen. That gets you absolutely nowhere. I know, right? I know. Trust me. I know. Someone that thinks they know everything is not a real trader, okay? Trust me. That's not how the world works. It's not how trading works. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. Peace.